In the last couple of videos, we made great progress on the S14 quarter panel repair. I was able to get the car drivable again. I got the taillights mounted, I got everything wired up. The quarter panel's prime, so it's protected from the rain, because as you can see, it's been raining here. You can see that I put the stock trunk back on. I just pried out this corner with some pliers just to get it to fit somewhat half decent. We still got the other trunk, which I have to go down and finish those two holes that we plugged from where the hood pins were, the hood latches. That's still exposed Bondo though, and that can't get wet. I took this out to the local skid pad out in Sac, put the stock trunk on there because it was supposed to rain. We're not done here yet, obviously. It still needs to get painted. And we still have all the fiberglass work to finish the rear bumper. But we're finally far enough along that we can put our focus back on the S13, which is honestly the original plan for this channel. I gotta do a bit of car reorganizing real quick. So after running all sorts of tests and troubleshooting the S13 KA, we pretty much determined that cylinder 4 is pretty cooked. I think it was like 110 or 111 PSI on the compression test compared to the others, which were like 135, 140. And keep in mind that that is with a very cheap Amazon compression test kit that I think reads low, because that's similar to what the S14 KA reads too. But cylinder 4 was noticeably lower than the first three cylinders. And on the leak down test, it read, I want like 40% leak down or something. Like it's bad. There's bad things happening. Still not sure if it's rings or valves. Could be both, but regardless, at least the head has to come off, and I figure we might as well just pull the engine. With 400K on the dash, we have no idea how many miles are on the engine itself, but just by looking at it, I mean, a lot of the boots are ripped and have holes. That's just a massive leak. There's no plug there. That is plugged with tape. I don't know if you can see that. And that just being like surface level, I feel like we might as well just pull this so we can get a good look at everything. I've pulled the engine on the S14 I'd say probably over 10 times by now. I'm fairly confident when it comes to this engine. And the S13, it still has a KA, but I know there's some slight differences between the S13 and S14 KA. But just looking at it, I mean, they are looking pretty similar, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna run in anything new or not. I think I'm gonna start by pulling the harness and just getting all the wiring back, and then just start slowly taking everything off. Yeah, I am curious. I think I remember, yeah, so we're missing intake manifold bolt. I'm honestly assuming the stud is snapped off in there. That's pretty common. That's actually what happened with the S14 KA as well. Also, the EGR tube is not capped off, so I wonder if that's just a fat leak in itself. I think it's a good thing we're pulling this so I can just give it like a good look over. Like, why is this just floating around? We got the harness pulled back, and I did notice that this whole big thing is new to me. Like, I don't have that on the S14. It has a bunch of these hard lines going to it, and I think it's my ABS module. I don't know what it's called, but I think it's for the ABS, which I don't have on the S14. But that thing's a big old hunker. Like, I'm probably gonna delete that. I'm gonna look into how big of a job deleting the ABS is, because yeah, that plus the like windshield wiper motor, like that's a big chunk of things in my engine bay there. I sort of doubt the cruise control works, so I can probably pull this all out if it already is all out apparently. Gotta pull the throttle cable and that cruise control cable. And then I think I'm gonna take off all this, the fan shroud, and kind of start getting that. Oh, I gotta drain the fluids. I forgot about that. The oil doesn't look terrible for being in the car for 5 years, if not longer actually. It's been sitting for at least 4. He said he never changed the oil, but like, it's still kind of it's like dark, but I'm surprised. This is much harder to do using my left hand and holding the camera. Okay, I need my other hand. There we go. Fluids are draining. Oh. This was never tightened. That's been hand loose this entire time. Oh yeah. That port was just taped shut, and this port had been open the entire time. All of these vacuum lines are new to me too, and 2 of them have just been cut and weren't capped or anything, so I wonder if there was a ton of vacuum leaks going on. I don't know what these are. Yet. I gotta check the service manual, see if I can find it online. This one looks like it goes to this, which I also don't have in the S14, but it's looking like maybe, what does that say? Maybe this is like a charcoal canister or something. I mean, I have that on the S14, but it's in a different location. I'm assuming emissions related, but again, I'm gonna verify that. Interesting that these were just cut though. Yeah, there's gonna be some mysteries in here. There we go. This is also new to me, and this was just open and uncapped, and I think this is supposed to connect to this with the hose, which maybe might also be some like emissions thing. I don't really know. I definitely have some research to do. Starting to clear up some space in the front though. That's a new one. This thing is super loose, but it's not the actual bolts. Huh. Learn something new every day. Oh no, my light's dying. Yeah, that's loose, all right. Ever since I got the car, the power steering reservoir has been empty, and there was power steering fluid all up in there, so I'm assuming it leaked out. They installed this Chase Bays power steering reservoir. I have mine as a power steering relocation. When I turboed the car, the stock power steering reservoir sits right here, and it gets so hot, and it would constantly boil over. I have the same Chase Bays reservoir, but I rerouted it to the front of the car to keep it away from the manifold. Pretty hard to see in there, but all of the fittings are supposed to be AN fittings, and they're supposed to be, you know, leak proof. A lot of people were saying like, dude, that kit leaks a lot. I got lucky with the S14, it hasn't leaked at all. But I was looking at these lines, and this looks correct. It has the banjo bolt and the crush washers or whatever, but that is just a hose clamp, and I'm wondering why? Because that should be a AN line, AN fitting with a little attachment thing there. I bet you that's a leak point there. Regardless, all this stuff has to come off. That is also extremely loose. Like I haven't touched this yet, and that is pretty much. I bet that's, yeah, that's hand loose. So that was definitely a leak point. Yeah, there's nothing coming out of that. Look at this too. That is all super, that's not tight at all. No wonder it has no power steering fluid. To my knowledge, we have everything disconnected that we need. I have a habit of saying that, then I go to pull it and you see there's something still connected. I do still have the heater core hoses back here that I need to disconnect. And then see that hose right there. I can't tell where it connects to, but it connects to the bottom of this thing, which is, again, I'm not familiar with the ABS thing. And then we also have the lower wiring harness to the alternator and everything down there. I think I'm gonna drop the trans so I can pull the engine and put the engine on the motor mount. Where'd that go? Right over there. So I do want to get this thing up on the lift. It'll just make my life easier disconnecting that lower harness, get the trans out, push the motor forward so I can reach everything back there and kind of see what's going on with those last connections. Oh yeah, rain is coming down. I'm curious how this fluid's gonna look, because I know the car wasn't maintained. Ooh. That ain't pretty. That is like gray sludge. Oh man. I mean, it feels like it shifts fine. I do have my my S14 stock transmission because I have a Z32 trans in there. Yeah, we'll see. We also still have the stock two-piece drive shaft, which is nice because I have my original one-piece drive shaft from when I got it for the S14. When I did the Z32 trans swap, it came with a different drive shaft, so I have this one now. I was holding it up and I think it's still the same length. I know there's a difference between the ABS and non-ABS diffs. Once I take this out, we'll see if I can swap in my old one-piece. I was just looking at this. Everything on this car is loose, dude. Nothing was tight. I'm being stubborn. I don't want to pull the exhaust. Yeah, I gotta pull the headers off anyway. But getting the drive shaft support with the exhaust in is not fun. I'm almost there though. There it goes. Oh God! Come here, you. I'm not used to having the whole floppy two-piece drive shaft. Oh, that's crazy. All right. I'm still getting the hang of like filming myself working on cars, but stuff like this is so difficult to film. I'm just getting all the lower harness wiring done, like everything off the alternator. I got the trans harness fully disconnected. Drive shaft is out. Gotta take off the slave cylinder, and then I mean, the car still has AC, I believe. It might need to be recharged, but it has AC. I'm gonna keep AC. Same thing with the S14. I kept it. It sucks to work around, but I love having it. So we're gonna have to disconnect the AC pulley pump thing, but I gotta get all up in here. Ooh, see? That's a satisfying shot, though. When I can get the camera to focus. Boom. And then put that back on so I don't lose it. There you go. Let go, please. Please let go. Thank you. Ew. That's gross. There's so many spider eggs everywhere throughout here, dude. Pretty sure everything is now free from the transmission. I think we can start undoing the bell housing bolts. And then one of my best investments ever, aside from the lift has been my best investment ever. The little transmission jack that makes dropping the transmission a whole lot easier. The first couple of times I pulled the trans and engine in the S14, obviously I was on the ground like most people, and you have to like bear hug the transmission, like it drops onto you. So having the luxury of a lift and the trans jack, it makes it like it makes it easy. Also in my bucket of parts here, I actually still have this little handy dandy thing that I used when I pulled the S14 trans. It labels all of the bolts because they're all like different lengths and they go different places. Sensor plug thing. I learned that was my crankshaft position sensor that I don't use with the Z32 transmission, but I didn't know what that was, so that's why I called it that. The starter bolt, it just labels everything so I know where they go. Take those out and replace them with those. We used some crazy extensions, but we got all of the hardware out. I was missing a bolt, but I have extras, so I should be able to get it all back in like it should be. Everything is clear there. I gotta go inside the car and free up the shifter, and then I think it's time to drop the trans. This little ratchet has come in so handy with the swivel head. All right, I think that is the last one. Yeah, okay, that's free. Oh yeah, okay, so this is that short shifter that was installed apparently. To be honest, I've never installed a short shifter. Usually there's like a snap ring in there that you have to pop out, but I'm assuming I just do these four. Or maybe these ones? I gotta look for a sec. That's just the transmissions, right? I think I can just drop it all the way down now. The shifter's still there. I think I can just pull it back to get like the little spindle out of the clutch and everything, and then drop it down. I might still have to remove the shifter. I'm not too sure yet, to be honest. I usually do. But we got the transmission jack all locked in, and now we just gotta remove the bracket or the brace or whatever and wiggle and jiggle it out. That was kind of dumb on my behalf. I got it separated, obviously, but I gotta go more back before I can drop it. So I am gonna have to remove the shifter just so I have that backward movement, and then we can drop it down. This is definitely OSHA approved. But if we come up here, oh, we're tall. Took those Allens off, and now we can take our shifter out, and now I should be able to drop it super easy. There it is. We are free! Come here, buddy! Whoa. See, that is so much better than trying to wrestle that thing on the ground. Boom! There. I wonder if that's the stock clutch. If it's stock everything else, it probably is the stock clutch. It's just interesting what they chose to do, because it still had the stock drive shaft, but aftermarket exhaust, aftermarket sway bar, aftermarket subframe bushings. Like, they did the subframe bushings before they did the drive shaft. Who knows about the clutch? It is a welded diff. I'll probably just slap this in. This is a aftermarket clutch that the homies over at Custom Clutches down south made for me. Probably just swap that in. Now, I mean, I just gotta see what's holding it in now. Maybe I was just being dumb. So I think it's the two heater core hoses back there, and then that hose that I saw down there that I thought was ABS related. I think that's just the AC, because I'm pretty sure it's this right there, which goes to the AC. And I think I'm gonna replace all the belts and then unbolt all those to get it off. And then we yank it. Also, I was correct. That stud snapped off. And the way that I got it out of the S14, it was when I first got into welding. The head on KAs is aluminum, so when I'm using a MIG welder, it doesn't bond to aluminum. I put a nut on it right there, weld the nut on, and even though I'm like welding the aluminum, it doesn't actually adhere to it, and then you can just twist the nut off, and sometimes the heat just helps loosen everything up too. I'm gonna blast all of the other ones with PB Blaster, just to hopefully avoid any other ones breaking. Swing. All of these nuts are really loose too. I did blast them with PB Blaster, but I think they were just loose to begin with. Yeah, like, that is very loose. Yeah, I'm not used to having this. I'm used to having like the intake manifold that I usually pull with the engine. No, I use these big boy headers. As far as I can tell, it is go time to get this thing out of here. I'm gonna go real slow at first and just make sure there's nothing still holding on. We don't rip any wires or cables or anything. I think we're good though. We have liftoff. Oh, I forgot one. Love that. Well, we're gonna have a bit of a mess to clean up. I forgot this one right here though, the big ground. All right, let's keep going. We are free. It's always so scary. I don't know, I know it's like safe-ish. I mean, from Harbor Freight. You know what I definitely forgot though is that the engine mounts directly to the block, and I gotta take off my clutch and flywheel. Totally forgot about that. We definitely have a aftermarket. Whoops. Definitely have an aftermarket flywheel, which is cool. Whew, we did it. Just like that, the engine is out, the transmission is out, and now we have some cleaning and inspecting to do. I also have a lot of cleaning in the shop to do as well. It got messy in here really quickly. I started around 10 a.m., so 4 hours. I'm getting a little bit faster. I'm dirty. Wow, I'm covered in car. I think I'm gonna chill for a little bit, clean up just a bit, and I'll see you guys soon. Why are you looking at me like that? I swear this dude is a human. He's a human trapped inside a dog's body. Anyway, let's go down to the shop and show you what we're working with. We got everything cleaned up. It's making me feel a lot more sane. It's really easy to get overwhelmed in a dirty workspace, I've learned. We have our proper work boots on today as well. Hear me out though, I'm not saying it's clean, I'm saying it's cleaner. I pulled both cars out, cleaned up all the fluids on the ground, swept everything out, and we're looking a bit better on this side here. Got the S13 KA sitting over there, ready to get disassembled. Pile of S14 stuff, and then pile of S13 stuff. I have a habit of not labeling things and then wondering where they are, so I went through and labeled everything over here. Got the trans hardware, or the bell housing hardware. Always love the miscellaneous pile when you can't remember what something went to. Luckily, we only have one bolt there. Sometimes that starts collecting quickly. I think the next step is cleaning and pressure washing the engine bay and deleting all the stuff we don't need anymore. And then the obvious one is starting to disassemble the KA and kind of see what we're dealing with. I'm really curious to get the head off, and I want to see the cylinder walls, because I'm curious if the cylinder walls are just cooked and needs to be bored out, or if it's valve related and not rings. Again, I'm still new to all of this. My knowledge is very surface level. I refreshed the S14 KA and I literally replaced every single gasket on that engine, but it's still the stock bottom end, stock same rings, didn't touch the bottom end. I replaced all of the gaskets, but it is like I didn't get a valve job on the head, so it is still very much a used engine. You know, it's not a fresh rebuild or anything. It's just refreshed. And this is my main car that I don't want to be down for too long. I try to drive this as frequently as I can, which, I mean, that's the whole point of the backup engine is to have something to actually build and learn how to build an engine from the bottom up. So that's what this engine is going to be for, and I'm actually really excited to start digging into this project. While that's going down, I want to start on the exterior of the S13. Chipping off the god-awful amount of Bondo that is holding this quarter panel together, and I mean, look, there's already easy access to get some tools in there to push that out. I don't know why they why they just patched it with, it's not like, it's still there. That rust is just surface rust. It can be ground off super easily. So I want to clean up the quarter panels, push that out to where it actually lines up with the door, clean up the wheel wells, go through, make a new arch out of sheet metal and make that all actually properly sealed and welded and nice looking. Go through and just fix, I mean, just essentially clean everything up. I want to actually take the seats out and not fully gut the inside, like leave the interior, but these seats are holding on for dear life. I don't even know if they're holding on anymore. They've let go. Pull the seats, clean everything, deal with all of the wiring and the cables, do a proper wire tuck and bring that up out of here so you're not rubbing. While everything's out, just clean it up, make it look a little bit better. The goal is by no means to make this a show car. It is going to be a seat time car that is going to be driven hard, but it's also going to be a tool for me to just learn some stuff and have some fun with, get some practice in. On the S14, you can see that I mounted all of the lights and everything and got our fitment pretty this light is sitting low. I just have to push it up. That's my fault. Got the gaps between the lights. Again, that light is gonna go up. Stop yelling at me. That one's not even bolted in right now. All the gaps and fitment is looking good. Sand this down, do another layer of that, what was it called? Like dolphin glaze or something, and then primer over it just like we did on the quarter panel. Go through with seam sealer and go over all of the seams that had gotten ruptured in the crash. I forget if I showed this actually, but I got the lever to actually work. But it actually wasn't working with my stock trunk, believe it or not. Super easy adjustment. You just had to, what was that sound? Yeah, I forgot. This top bolt is stripped. The hole on the trunk is stripped. I'm gonna have to hit that with the tap and die set. That noise scared. I was like, dude, what'd I just do? Got our latch working. All the wiring for the lights is just haphazardly zip tied together, but it does work. Opens and closes like a trunk should. Think in the next video, I want to finish the trunk. Not paint yet, but just get it bondoed and primed so I can take it outside, because right now that can't get wet. Once everything's sealed on the S14, we can actually go drive it, because believe it or not, that's why I enjoy cars, because I enjoy driving them. Finish, clean up, build. Those are the 3 projects we have ahead of us, at least until another car decides to show up in the shop. Wink, wink, foreshadowing, wink, wink. You'll see later. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a fun journey. I will catch you in the next video. Peace!